Most people worry they are not saving enough for retirement. But there is another mistake almost nobody talks about: saving too hard for too long. For years, we have been told that the only way to a secure future is through endless sacrifice, maximizing every account, and working until our hair turns gray. But what if the math says you have already won the game? What if you have reached a point where your investments are doing so much heavy lifting that your extra contributions barely move the needle anymore? There is a specific moment in your financial journey where you hit the retirement sweet spot. This is the point where you can stop the aggressive saving and start coasting toward your goals. Most people miss this window and end up trading the best years of their health and youth for money they will never have the time or energy to spend. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how to spot this moment. I'm going to show you when to keep saving aggressively, when it is safe to slow down, and the exact signs that you have hit your retirement sweet spot. Before we continue, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below, and hit the notification bell to never miss our next wealth-building breakdown in this changing economy, and to help this video reach others in our community needing financial advice. When we talk about coasting, it does not mean you quit your job and move to a beach tomorrow. That is traditional retirement. Coasting, often called Coast FI, is a much more flexible and realistic strategy for people who want to reclaim their lives earlier. It means you have already saved enough in your investment accounts so that, even if you never contribute another single dollar, your portfolio will grow through the power of compounding to meet your retirement needs by the time you reach your target age. You are not retired yet, but your retirement engine is already running at full speed. Think of it like a plane reaching cruising altitude. You used a lot of fuel to get off the ground, but now you can throttle back and let momentum take over. There is a huge difference between full financial independence and coasting. Full independence means your investments can cover your life completely right now. Coasting means you still work to cover your current living expenses, but the crushing pressure to save for the future is gone. This shift can completely change how you think about your career, your stress levels, and your daily schedule. The biggest reason people keep saving even after they could stop is purely emotional. We are conditioned to live in a state of financial anxiety. Many of us keep pushing because we are terrified of running out of money. We look at the news and see headlines about market crashes, rising healthcare costs, and the uncertainty of Social Security. These fears are real, but blindly saving forever creates a different, more silent problem. You might be sacrificing your health, your relationships, and your limited time on Earth, even after the math says you have options. We ask ourselves, what if the market drops? What if I live to be 100? But we rarely ask the opposite. What if I spend my most mobile, healthy years working 50 hours a week for a bank account I won't need until I'm 70? At what point does saving more stop being life-changing? When does buying back your time become more valuable than an extra zero in your portfolio? The math behind the retirement sweet spot is simpler than the industry wants you to believe. It depends on three primary variables: how much you have now, how many years you have until you want to stop working, and how much you plan to spend later. Let's look at an example. Imagine someone who is 45 years old and has $250,000 invested. They plan to fully retire at 65. Over those 20 years, even without adding another penny, that money could grow significantly. If that portfolio earns a conservative 7% average annual return, it could grow to nearly $1 million by the time they reach retirement age. If their goal was $1 million, they have reached their sweet spot. They no longer need to stress about saving $4,000 a month. They just need to cover their current bills. This is like a seed growing into a tree. Once the tree is established, you don't need to keep planting more seeds in the same spot to get the shade you need. You just have to give the tree time to grow. Of course, returns are never guaranteed, but the point is to use realistic estimates to see if your future is already funded. To understand where you stand, you need to identify which of the three stages of retirement saving you are currently in. Stage 1 is build mode. This is where most of us start. Your portfolio is small, so your contributions matter more than the market's growth. In this stage, you must be aggressive. You focus on increasing your income, reducing wasteful spending, and investing consistently. You are building the foundation and avoiding lifestyle inflation so that your money has a chance to start working. Stage 2 is momentum mode. This is the middle ground where your portfolio has become meaningful. Now, the growth of your investment starts to matter just as much as your contributions. If you have a good year in the market, your account might grow by more than you actually saved that year. In this stage, the focus is on staying consistent, avoiding major mistakes, and not panicking during market downturns. Finally, you hit stage 3, which is coast mode. This is the retirement sweet spot. Your portfolio is now large enough that time and compounding do the heavy lifting. Your focus shifts from accumulation to protection. You focus on covering your current expenses, protecting your health, and reducing the stress that comes from a high-pressure career. How do you know you're near this sweet spot? There are various useful signs. First, you have a solid investment basis that has withstood one market cycle. Second, you have at least 10 to 15 years before you plan to retire. Third, no high-interest debt is draining your cash flow. Fourth, your lifestyle is solid and practical. You won't drastically boost expenditure. You know your future spending and have an emergency fund for shocks. Most importantly, every dollar you save now affects your outcome less than it did 10 years ago. Financial planning is not about dying with the most money. Money should be used to create a life you don't need to escape. Coasting too soon is dangerous. You cannot coast with little investment for your age. If you're 50 with $50,000, compounding won't help. Build mode is required. Your plan is unprepared if it assumes 15% market returns forever. With high-interest debt, no emergency reserves, or unstable income, coasting is risky. Not planning for significant future expenses like children or a home is another reason to avoid it. Coasting works when the math supports it, but it becomes a trap when used to avoid conserving. Be honest with your numbers before slowing down. Lifestyle improvements can be fantastic if maths works. Reaching the sweet spot gives you options most think are only for the rich. You may take a less stressful, lower-paying career with more balance. Start your decade-long dream business or work part-time. Travel and spend more time with family while healthy and mobile. This concerns early mental and physical health. Many people live until 65, but they may not be as active or free. Why accumulate wealth without changing your life? Enjoy your job while the tree grows by coasting. Test your sweet spot with this simple procedure. Start by estimating your annual retirement spending in current dollars. Step 2. Use the 4% formula or a similar multiplier to figure how much you need to invest to fund that spending. Third, evaluate your investments. Fourth, estimate retirement years. Step 5. Estimate your money in those years using a compound interest calculator with a cautious return rate of 5 to 6%. Sixth, ease inflation and taxes. Step 7. Compare final number to aim. You have alternatives if numbers match. You can coast and enhance your life or save hard to retire earlier. Before making a big change, check your assumptions with a financial expert. People's biggest mistake is viewing retirement as a definitive end. Freedom stages should be part of retirement planning. Not everyone must wait decades for development. They can regain independence gradually. The sweet spot is when money lets you choose, not when you can stop saving. When your future is safe, you can focus now. Finish with a simple frame. If you're behind, in debt, or starting, save hard. Relax if you're on track but need consistency. If you have secure lifestyle and self-growing investments, coast. Change your estimations when your life evolves. Saving is vital, but not forever. Goals include freedom, security, and fulfillment before and after retirement. Comment coast. For a simple retirement sweet spot computation, focus on the life money should purchase. Which of these steps surprised you the most? Leave a comment below to help others in our community. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to never miss our next wealth-building breakdown in this changing economy, and to help this video reach others needing financial advice. Your future self depends on your choices today,